The following video is intended for mature audiences. It contains horror elements, adult themes, and language that might not be suitable for younger viewers. David Blue Garcia's 2022 The Texas Chainsaw Massacre revives the franchise's horror roots with a gritty, intense approach. It honors the groundwork set by Tobe Hooper's 1974 original. The film faces the tough task of introducing Leatherface, the chainsaw-wielding villain, to a new audience while attempting to please longtime fans through a blend of nostalgia, fear, and deep psychological exploration. While some confusion exists about its timeline and character motivations, the movie delivers an impactful ending with a surprising plot twist that makes up for any rough spots. A significant part of this film is Sally Hardesty's comeback. She was the only survivor of the first massacre. Once narrowly escaping death, she now seeks revenge as a strong woman. This change and reappearance provide closure for dedicated fans. Watching such a determined woman face her past tormentor despite her age is compelling. This depiction recognizes but reinterprets the horror cliché of the final girl. She's not running anymore but resolved to confront her past trauma. Sally's character inspires both sympathy and empowerment in this film, presenting an interesting look at how surviving trauma can lead to resilience. Her story reflects broader themes of revenge and reckoning, making her akin to modern-day horror protagonists. She brings a steady energy that balances out Leatherface's untamed brutality. Leatherface has changed significantly in this latest version. The character strays from previous depictions by reducing him to his basic brutality, raising questions about his backstory consistency. Instead of giving a clear history, the film goes for simplicity. Leatherface is an unwavering symbol of terror with unclear motives, focusing more on his actions than his development into a killer. This lack of characterization detail may let down franchise followers who enjoy psychological depth and backstory. I was just confused after having just watched 2013's Texas Chainsaw, where Verna Carson's influence was hinted at in his beginnings. Leatherface's new image is terrifying, with motives that appear almost primal, fueled by survival and anger, rather than a detailed backstory. While this might annoy those looking for continuity, it does make him a more basic horror figure. He's less human and instead becomes an embodiment of fear, unstoppable, systematic, and merciless. It's a controversial choice, but it successfully keeps Leatherface as a symbol of unending terror. The timeline of the 2022 Texas Chainsaw Massacre has been a point of contention. It's marketed as a sequel to the 1974 original, but it reworks past events, confusing the franchise's timeline. Audiences are asked to ignore previous films and suspend their understanding of character development. This is unsettling for longtime fans, as some plot points seem contradictory. For example, Leatherface's upbringing in an orphanage contradicts earlier narratives that place him within the Sawyer family. This approach reflects a wider trend in horror, rebooting franchises while selectively maintaining continuity. These inconsistencies can frustrate those who prefer coherent storytelling. Despite these gaps in continuity, the film makes up for it by focusing on themes like revenge, trauma, and cyclical violence. Views differ on whether this selective memory adds or detracts depth. It's clear that filmmakers chose this route to concentrate more on immediate terror than backstory. A standout aspect of this movie is the bond between Lila and Melody. Their relationship brings emotional depth to the story. In this horror-filled world, sisterly love becomes a strong symbol of resilience and protection, especially seen through Lila's character arc. The theme of sisterhood ties back to Sally's role in the first film, showcasing generational female strength against Leatherface's brutal savagery. The sisters' bond isn't just a plot device, it serves as a counterpoint to the violence surrounding them, grounding the movie in human emotionality. Their dynamic shows that horror isn't only about fear. It's about sibling loyalty. This storyline breathes life into the film, lifting it above standard slashers. David Blue Garcia's directorial choices heavily incorporate elements from classic horror films, using a retro look reminiscent of the original film's grainy, creepy atmosphere. From lighting to color scheme, each shot is designed to create a sense of familiarity while inducing unease. This decision to recreate this raw, vintage horror atmosphere gives the Texas Chainsaw Massacre credibility as a genuine continuation of the 1974 cult classic, even with its disjointed timeline. The film's use of long shadows, cramped spaces, and disturbing sound design builds suspense, immersing audiences in an environment filled with dread. The 2022 version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre stands out with a shocking ending. It's rare for a movie to have such a powerful conclusion that leaves a lasting impression due to its brutal yet almost artistic nature. Even though the film has some plot holes and continuity issues, the end scene redeems it by tying the story together in an unexpected way. This climax embodies true horror, giving Leatherface one final terrifying moment. Despite its flaws, this film creates an impactful ending that aligns with the franchise's dark history, demonstrating its ambition. For horror fans, this final scene is a strong reminder that there are no happy endings in Texas Chainsaw, only fear and despair. For me, the ending makes up for the less impressive parts of the movie. Although not perfect, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre captures the terrifying spirit of its predecessor while introducing new themes around trauma, revenge, and survival. Fans of Sally Hardesty and Leatherface will enjoy this brutal yet nostalgic trip down memory lane from a fresh viewpoint. Some may be bothered by timeline inconsistencies and selective continuity choices, but compelling character development, eerie atmosphere, and a jaw-dropping finale make up for these issues. This movie shows how horror can explore complex themes in brutally honest ways. It goes beyond being just a bloody slasher flick to become a thoughtful reflection on how trauma can shape us and tie us to our pasts. By the end, we're reminded that while horror is essentially about fear, its real power lies in making us confront our inner demons and pasts. For those who appreciate bold storytelling and can overlook some plot issues, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre offers a deeply frightening yet resonating experience. The 2022 version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a crime thriller serial killer slasher horror that is 1 hour and 21 minutes long and is rated R. The Southern Underworld gives it 4 bloody knives. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Thank you for watching.